And now shifting focus to the Middle East now, where tensions continue to remain high. In the latest, the U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has ordered a reinforcement of U.S. military capabilities in the region. This comes amid Washington's growing friction with Iran in an over 2-week-long American bombing campaign targeting the Houthi rebels in Yemen. Now, while the Pentagon did not specify the types or exact locations of the deployed aircraft, U.S. officials reported that as many as 6 B-2 bombers have been relocated over the past week or so to the U.S.-British military base on the Indian Ocean of Diego Garcia. Experts say that this deployment strategically positions the B-2s that are renowned for their stealth technology and capacity to carry the heaviest U.S. bombs and nuclear weapons for potential operations in the Middle East. Washington is also sending an additional carrier strike group led by USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier to the Middle East. Now, this is the same U.S. Navy ship from whose deck the body of al-Qaeda terror group leader Osama bin Laden was dumped in a sea burial after he was killed in a U.S. Marine operation inside Pakistan in 2011. This escalation comes after President Donald Trump threatened Iran on Sunday with bombing and secondary tariffs if Tehran did not come to an agreement with Washington over its nuclear program. In response, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei warned on Monday that the U.S. would face a strong blow if President Trump acted on his threats.
The enmity from the US and Israel has always been there. They threaten to attack us, which we don't think is very probable. But if they commit any mischief, they will surely receive a strong reciprocal blow. If they are thinking of causing sedition inside the country as in past years, the Iranian people themselves will deal with them, same as before.
Meanwhile, suspected U.S. airstrikes have battered rebel-controlled areas of Yemen today, with the Houthis saying one strike killed at least 4 people near the Red Sea port city of Hodeidah. According to the Houthis, the intense campaign of airstrikes under President Trump targeting the rebels over their attacks on shipping in the Mideast waters has killed at least 65 people. Now, this current escalation is set against the backdrop of strained relations stemming from President Donald Trump's 2018 withdrawal from the 2015 nuclear deal with world powers, which limited Iran's nuclear activities in exchange for sanctions relief. The coming days and weeks will be critical in observing how these military deployments and diplomatic tensions unfold in this volatile region.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India. What we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%. Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.
Shalom. Call Halo Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. That's giving all praise to the Most High. In the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And that right there is going into the World War. Okay, this third World War is coming quickly. As you see in this picture right here, your American troops are being deployed, to the Middle East. Okay, they're being deployed to the so-called Middle East. All right, it says, breaking, America preparing for war. Over 40,000 American troops are being deployed across the Middle East in wet reports confirm its preparation for a war with Iran, all for Israel. Okay, and this is a very important picture for you to pay attention to, because we've been saying it, starting when I had elders and apostles of Great Millstone for decades, and on down. Brothers have been saying this, that this country is getting ready to go to war. Okay, World War III. Okay, and it's going to be a bloody war. Okay, a thermonuclear war. As you see in the post-production, this guy, Trump, he's making all these threats to Iran, and, and they're really trying to, fight for and defend Israel, which is, going to cause, as Scripture says, the least of the flock shall draw them out. And there's a lot of things happening right now on this, on the world front with this, these breaking newses. You have these tariff wars, trade wars, which trade wars become real wars. Prices going up. A lot of countries are, leaving and abandoning America. You also have it where, I just saw a post too where it said how America just revoked the visas for any of the South Sudanese, the Sudanese people. They just revoked their visas, so they're gonna start, deporting them. But it's just tension all over the board, man. There's all this tension going on. It tells us what time that we're in. Okay, let me bring that part back. It says, Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, which woe goes into destruction. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly. All right, so we are in a time when we're about to see this third world's war. Okay, this third world's war, and it's going to be a bloody war. Okay, let me grab this too, because, we are seeing these things play out in the earth. Okay, and the Lord is doing these things on, allowing these things to happen to ultimately fulfill his prophecy that America must be destroyed and our salvation must come. Okay, let's grab this though. It says, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Right, so these things must come to pass. Okay, so you're going to see more troops get deployed. You got Jake, they out there, Jake out here, signing up for the military for benefits. And they telling you in the military, oh, we're not going to war. We're not going to war for another 100 years or whatever the hell they saying. But no, you might not have another 100 days. Okay, they're going to send you out there and you're going to be turned to topsoil. All right, let's see. It says, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted. And that's the point. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And let me say this too, man. If you go into the military or think about going into the military, my advice would be to go watch some of those war movies. Okay, and a good movie is Fury. A movie called Fury, got Brad Pitt in it. That's a good movie. And there's a few other good ones that show you the realistic ideal of war. Okay, in that movie Fury, we went into it at camp. There's a quote. He said, "Wait till you see it," And it was the main character. I believe it was what's his name? The guy from Transformers. Even Stevens. What's his name? I forgot his name. It doesn't matter. But he was new. No, it wasn't. It was another guy that was new. But he was. I think he was the one that said it. One of those guys said it. But he told the new guy who had that sparkle in his eye still. He said, "Wait till you see it." And he said, "See what?" He said, "What a man can do to another man." All right. And in this case, what countries can do to other countries. All right. And this damn devil Esau, he about to bomb these people, man. Okay. There's a lot of, over there in Gaza, it's a picture, I saw just a minute ago of a child's whole head blown off. Okay, head top peeled back. Okay, getting pulled from rubble. All right, so we definitely in these times, man. All right. This is another post. It says, I want to tell you something very clear. Don't worry about American pressure on Israel. We, the Jewish people, control America, and the Americans know it. Okay, this is Ariel Sharon, October 3rd, 2001. Whew. yeah, you see it's all playing out, man. And then look what you see here at the top. All your presidents bowing down, okay, to these small hats. And Trump is no different. It says Pentagon prepares for a potential strike on Iran. It says the United States is rapidly expanding its military footprint across the Middle East, deploying thousands of troops, strategic bombers, missile defense systems, and naval assets amid escalating tensions with Iran, right? And this whole thing with Iran, this is a major thing that's leading up until what? World War III, okay? That's what it's leading up to, all right? So you get the picture. Okay. Remember this picture right here. Okay. Let's get my precept real quick though. It says, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse. Let's just get right to the point. I'll read all of this. It says, the king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. Now you got Trump. He's putting all these tariffs out, and really he's making he's doing a bold move because it can go one or two ways, But we know which way it's going to go because of prophecy's sake. America is going to go into which we're already in a recession and facing inflation, but it's about to increase to hyperinflation. Okay. So, lucky. See, Trump's whole ideal of, bringing these sanctions in hopes to, scare these other countries into bowing down to America, they don't have that kind of power anymore. So these nations, they're going to buck up against America, ultimately join up together and turn against America and eventually destroy America with thermonuclear missiles. It says, behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is the shepherd? Is that shepherd that will stand before me? Here's the point. It says, therefore hear ye the counsel of Yahawadah Shai, that he hath taken against Babylon. The Lord has taken the counsel against America. Okay, America. It's a lot. It's modern day Babylon. It says, his purposes that he have proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Okay, these sorcerers here in America. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate without. Shall make their habitation desolate with them. So surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. So this whole thing with Israel and America trying to defend Israel, as you see right here. Okay, with America trying to defend Israel, surely the least of the flock is drawing him out. And all your American presidents have all bowed down to Israel, and it's going to get, and Israel, okay, is leading America into World War III. Okay. They're trying to tell them to chill, slow, calm things down. Oh man, Slovakia. I hate when that happens, but we're in with these fleshly bodies, man. It says, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. The cry is heard among the nations, right? Because America is going to roil to and fro like a drunkard. Let's grab that real quick. Let's grab that, okay? Because the whole world is going to, see the destruction of America. It's Isaiah chapter 24, verse 20. It says, the earth shall rail to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be moved like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord Yahawadah Shai shall punish the hosts of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. So yeah, the Lord is going to have it where, this place is going to be shaken. America is going to be, it says move like a cottage. Think about a cottage like a little small bed, and it's easy to move, it's easy to move. And that's how, this world is going to shake, when these nukes are, burning America up. It says, verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. There's a crying for wine in the streets. People want answers. They want to know why this is happening. What's going on? All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And that happens when we go into war. It says, in the city is left desolation and the gate is smitten with destruction. Right? So, yeah, man, that happens when war comes. Okay? People ain't having a good time no more. They ain't enjoying themselves. Okay? Let's grab another one. It says, Ecclesiastes, Salakia, verse 12, verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. So you got to get right with Yahweh Shem Yahushai in your youth. Don't wait till you get older and this, that, and the third, because you might not make it to get older, okay, in this society. This place is crashing soon. It says, so like these are, this early morning breaking news, but my body hasn't fully woken up yet. It says, verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, right? Because the future of this place is looking very bleak. People know prices is going to go up. People getting fired and let go left and right. People, are going homeless, all right? They're about to do a draft. They're still going to send your sons and your daughters off to die in these wars. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, and when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right. So, this place is done. Okay. Let's grab, let me see how much time I got.